All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol NIO, Neil Inc. And before we jump into the show, I want to say welcome to all my first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to my channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all my subscribers, welcome back, and I hope you guys find this video helpful and informative. So NIO Inc. has had a run here, and we're talking about it actually reached new highs and then it started to level off, and it's been very volatile as we see it. So there was a healthy run here since June, and then it rose up, it leveled off, it rose up again, and since this point we haven't seen those highs, pretty close to $21. That is the most important point right now for the bulls. And after reaching $21, they did reach new lows, and in those lows, they reached close to $15.62. So $21 is the most important point for the bulls. $15.62 is what the bulls want to avoid and what the bears are trying to do. But from that point, there has been a recovery, and it's just slightly jumping up and down with volatility every single day since then. And every time it crosses the 50-day moving average, it crosses right back down. And when it crosses right back down, it has a recovery. And we're going to see here on this sideways movement that we currently have towards the end of the week, how it reacted and what to look for Monday. So the bull slightly brought this up. They broke through resistance one time, reaching highs of 1860, and then it fell back down, and here we are leveled off at 1834. So this is a very narrow stretch, and this stock actually has a very close run, whether the tug of war wins for the bulls or it wins for the bears. It's very, very narrow. So I'm going to talk about the previous resistance levels and support levels again because they are important. So 1767, I'd write that down. This is an important number if this crosses the 50-day moving average and if it crosses the support that we're going to talk about way up here. And the resistance level previously, 1838, is super important as well. If that gets crossed, this could be on its way to newer highs, and it will be showing sense of an upward direction. But that's not our resistance levels for Monday. I just want you guys to relook and recap on those points that are important to look at, and they can give us, as investors, a sense of direction of where this stock is moving and going. Now our support levels and resistance levels have slightly moved up, and this is a really close one here with our support and the 50-day moving average. So the 50-day moving average is 1799. Super important point. As long as we stay above it, which we're at 1834, the bulls are in control. The moment that gets crossed, that means that the 50-day moving average has been crossed. This could be on its way to crossing the support level, and this will be in bearish territory and getting deeper into it. So super, super important. Now, it hit a couple of points here a little bit above the closing price at 1836 and 1835. So those are some very narrow numbers, but the highest point that it reached in the day was 1862, and it quickly got rejected. It dipped. It even broke through the 50-day moving average, and then it started to rise again. So there's some momentum here for the bulls. So for the bulls to continue to work their way up to newer highs and get further away from the 50-day moving average in a upward direction, they need to break through resistance. Resistance is super important right now for the bulls. They want to turn this into a support. By breaking through that resistance and turning it into a support, they can start to work their way up to newer highs and new resistance levels. All right, so back down here at our support level, this is what the bears want, and super important as well for the bulls to stay away from it and keep it leveled off above it. But if this was to work its way closer to the 50-day moving average of 1799, this could be on its way down below the 50-day moving average into bearish territory. But before then, this stock is actually having a support level after that. So before it even reaches that, there will be other points to look at, such as right here at 1822 and even here at 1801. But if 1799 gets crossed, Obviously, this will be on its way to support, and our support level is 1797. If this gets crossed, definitely we have crossed the first support level by the bears, and the 50-day moving average was crossed. So now we are guaranteed to be in bearish territory. So this is what the bulls want to avoid. And if 1797 gets broken through, the next important point would be 1768. That's our next support level. That's the lowest point before this run, and slight recovery from the bulls, bringing themselves above the 50-day moving average. But before even getting there, 1797, if that gets crossed, I want to emphasize how important it is to pay close attention to the reaction of the stock and the behavior. How quickly is it moving down? How quickly is it moving to newer lows and new support levels? Or is it slightly hanging out around it? And could the bulls reappear to quickly cross the 50-day moving average and get back into bullish territory? Now, the bulls are going to have to come in hefty and strong. Once again, I want to emphasize this because this is the most important point for this momentum that has been created by the bulls to continue in an upward direction. The bulls need to break through 1862, turn that into a support so they can start to work their way up to newer highs and newer resistance levels. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. But if you do, don't forget to click on the bell, right, by turning on all notifications to not miss a single video that I post. Share us with your friends and community. Don't forget to hit the like button and let me know you watched this video. And at the end of this video, there's going to be a pop-up video. And in that video, I will be discussing about the S&P 500. And what I go ahead into detail in there is a strategy that's been working for me as an investor, right? And it has been tremendously profitable for me. I know it's not going to sound like a lot, but if the S&P 500 moves on these specific dates of the Federal Reserve pumps between 30 to 40 points, most stocks in the S&P 500 are moving 30 cents all the way upwards to $3 and even more. But so far, to not go too optimistic and be realistic, that's what I've seen an average movement, 30 cents to $3 per share. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's profit. And like I always say, profits are profits. And what I go ahead into detail in that video is discussing how you can do your own research and due diligence. I'm not there to tell you guys to buy, sell, or hold, but if you do your research and due diligence on specific ticker symbols in the S&P 500 and put it alongside with the S&P 500 on the specific scheduled dates, you will be able to see how they react. And based off of your rationalization, what you see and your research, you'll be able to make a decision as an investor that may work for you. It's been working for me. I don't see why it won't work for many of you viewers, but it's a topic that many people are not talking about, or they're actually overlooking and not discussing. And I want more viewers and investors to be aware of it and not miss out on the opportunity. So I talk about the scheduled dates and the scheduled pump dates. And even when the market's going up or even down, it's still a good point of reference to use, and even a great opportunity to take profits. The Federal Reserve is giving money to these companies, and by giving them money, it raises up their stocks. Like I said, 30 cents to $3 and maybe even more. And if it's been working for me, I'm sure it can work for you. Again, I'm not telling you guys to buy, sell, or hold. I'm just there to enlighten you guys on some great news and information that there's an opportunity to take profits. I don't want any of you guys to miss out on it. Click on the video when it pops up if it hasn't already. It should be coming up soon. And thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.